Alright, so earlier today in Papa Gut's stream, I saw this story. It's about this Loloverruled person who's apparently like a leftist lawyer or whatever, content creator. He was in Hassan's orbit for a while. Apparently he had some allegations against him, I guess. Like, a lot of people were talking about it. It was aka Alex Lolo as well. That's his name. I guess we'll start this. I tried to find, like, a video that was different from the one Papa Gut reacted to, but I couldn't find any video on this topic, nearly as many. So I got the one Papa Gut went over. I also found, like, this person who made this, like, YouTube short, and then, like, someone made a TikTok on it, so I guess we'll react to those before we react to the actual video on it. Yeah, let's just, see what we got.
If it's related to Alex Lolo, then that's not drama. I mean, this dude apparently was all up and down being a pest. It's completely unacceptable.
Okay, he's being a pest, so what do we got?
I have a platform and I acknowledge that. So I'm coming forward today to back up all the women sharing their allegations about Alex LOLO. Because I also had a very strange interaction with him that made me uncomfortable.
Listen, I'm not trying to be that guy, but, like, I've seen this person on TikTok, the woman making this video. She has made a lot of very insidious and nasty sensationalized TikToks, and so I almost, like, when she says, like, it made me uncomfortable, maybe it did, but I'm gonna have a hard time believing that. Like, what do you have?
Well, my interaction isn't even half as bad as some of the horrific things they're saying. I fully believe, based off of the weirdness of it, that he's capable of doing this other stuff. If you haven't already heard, this man right here, Alex Peter, goes by LOL or LO Overruled, has gone into hiding today because women across the internet are coming forward with stories about their interactions with him.
What did he do to them? Like, was he like a sex... Hassan said he was like a sex pest, but it's like, that's about as useful as, like, anything Hassan says. Like, what did he do?
The allegations range from a number of things, like trying to take advantage of SWs or just straight...
SWs? Oh, you mean sex workers? Okay, like, what does that mean? Content creator threatened me saying if they ever hurt me, I would be powerless because... Okay, do we have, like, proof of this? What does this mean?
...up threatening women. The biggest part is the quantity and the fact that they all show this...
So happy to finally see outed as a piece of shit. He was literally angry and blocked me when I refused to have sex with him. Literally... Where is the proof of this? Wait, what are we talking about?
Same things. He's very quick to anger, get defensive. He's very entitled, and he's trying to take advantage of women.
Where's the proof? Bro, why do people always run their fucking mouth and then just, like, say a bunch of shit that means nothing without ever releasing anything to back it up? Like, what is happening?
And yeah, I was also scared of upsetting a very beloved man with a huge platform because we've seen what they can do.
Oh man, we're really setting the stage for this accusation, huh?
When they get angry and start lying. Anyways, here's what happened with me. He's very large, obviously. I followed him and Hassan for a while. I really looked up to them.
Oh, he was a bigger content creator than I am. Okay, hold on a second. Girl, what are we talking about? You're, like, you have 500,000 followers on TikTok. This guy has, like, 900,000, so what? He has 400,000 more than you do, so you're gonna, like, sit here and pretend like, oh my god, I looked up to them, even though you guys have never interacted once? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What?
I was pretty excited when he followed me back. And he even went to my Instagram and followed me back. And as you can see, like, I have a lot of friends that are friends with him. We work in the same industry. This is a very awkward situation that happened. And then sometime later...
Awkward? How is it awkward? What, you guys followed each other. How the fuck was it awkward? What are you talking about?
Even though he's 34 years old, he did the high school boy thing where he went through and liked a couple photos of me in a bikini and then said nothing. And
Okay. What am I supposed to do with that? Say, oh my god, he's such a creep. Oh wow, he liked public photos of yourself in a bikini. Okay, like, yeah. You decided to put the photos out there, he just liked them, and that was it. It's like, I don't know, I'd be less charitable if he was, like, actually being creepy and, like, putting, like, weird emojis there, or, like, dog whistling that he wanted to, like, fuck you or something. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, what do you want me to say? That he's, like, a fucking weirdo for liking photos that you put out publicly? What do you want me to tell you?
I noticed it, but I ignored it. I was like, maybe he's just being supportive, okay?
Maybe he is.
Then one day I wake up, my alarm goes off at 11:30 every day because I'm up until like 5 a.m. working on stuff or whatever. And I see that he has messaged me earlier around 9 a.m. saying, do I have to DM slide? Is that how I hit on you?
Okay.
And I'm like screaming, I don't know what to do. I call up one of my friends who knows him and I'm like, I don't know how to respond. Like, how do I not make this awkward, not make him feel embarrassed, right? Because we all are attending the same events and stuff. So if I have to run into him, like, what do I say? We're trying to conjure up a very polite response at this point, but it's too late. Only a few minutes have gone by, and he just goes, yeesh.
These are 2 hours apart. These are 2 hours apart. Only a few minutes go by? What are you talking about? Also, hot take. But, like, if you are getting, like, starstruck and you, like, don't know what to say and you're freaking the fuck out that a bigger content creator is talking to you, like, are you, like, hot take, if you are, like, getting this fucking, like, anxious over, like, some content creator who's, like, bigger than you but not by a lot, then maybe you shouldn't be on the fucking internet. Like, hot take. Like, I'm not sold on the idea of, like, this power dynamic argument that people always talk about. Because that's definitely what you're insinuating here, that there was some weird power dynamic, even though the follower difference is really not as big as you're trying to make it out to be.
Sorry, LOL. Realistically, it's probably been like 5-6 minutes I'll give you since I read this message. Because I do other stuff on my phone before I open up IG.
Okay, I guess you're talking about the message thing. Alright, whatever, fine. Okay, fine. So I guess I misunderstood that one part. Whatever, sure. Okay, fine.
But also, sir, you sent that message around 9 a.m. You've been sitting here checking constantly for hours to see if I've read the message.
I mean, okay, yeah, it's probably, like, I mean, he's, like, hitting on you, and then you rejected him, like, you left him on red, you rejected him, like, that's fine, whatever. Like, what did he do that was so awful? You're saying, he made me uncomfortable, or whatever. Why, because he has a bigger platform than you do, or whatever? Just because he has a little more followers than you do, or I guess 400,000 more followers than you do? Okay, well, then maybe if that is enough to make you uncomfortable, or if that's enough to make you, like, upset or starstruck or whatever the fuck you're feeling about, like, this guy, then, like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't be a content creator. Hot take. Like, do you need fucking mommy and daddy to consent to literally everything you do? How old are you? You're, like, 26 years old. You're a 26-year-old white woman on TikTok just making these, like, weird fucking videos.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever.
He goes, my bad. Have a great day. And then he unliked all the photos that he had liked.
Wow, were you constantly refreshing your photos to see if he would like or unlike your photos? Oh my god, that's so weird of you. Holy shit. Listen, I'm just using your own logic against you, just to be absolutely clear. So far, all you've shown is that this guy hit on you, and then he just, like, stepped away the moment you rejected him. That's literally all you're showing, and that's enough to make you fucking uncomfortable. Holy shit, dude. We're only one video into this, and I already... I might become red-pilled. I might become like a fucking red-pilled podcaster or something.
The whole interaction was weird, uncomfy, and disappointing, especially from, like, an influencer whose friend group I've looked up to for so long.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
But that's not how you address and speak to women, and to get, like...
Well, I'm speaking to one like that right now. In fact, I'm speaking to a woman like that way worse than he is. I don't know, sue me now. Cancel me for being misogynistic, I guess. Just to be clear, I'm not actually misogynistic. I don't hate women. But holy shit, like, this is what... Bro, like, you by actively putting out these allegations, you are essentially telling us that women should have their rights taken away. I'm not even kidding. By putting out these allegations, by putting out this fucking, like, interaction you had with him, it's not even, like, anything serious. Like, he slid in your DMs, then you left him on red. That's very clearly you rejecting him. And then he's like, yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I don't know. You said, yeah, I don't know how to respond to that. My bad. Have a great day. Yeah, it's like, that's your rejection. And then you were constantly refreshing your photos to see if he would like you, which is very ironic. It's very hypocritical of you. And now you're gonna fucking complain that, like, you're just riding on whatever cancel wave he's on. What the fuck are you talking about? By putting this out, you are actively telling us that women need to have mommy and daddy consent to everything. That women don't have autonomy over themselves. They have no agency over themselves. They can't fucking make decisions on their own. By putting this out here, you're trying to make it seem like you can't consent or to these, like, things or whatever. It's fucking preposterous.
weirdly worked up that I didn't immediately respond. I could have been like making breakfast. I guess maybe
Then that's what you should have done instead of fucking wasting your time doing this bullshit. What are you talking about?
that's an admission that he kind of knew that this was strange for a 34-year-old.
Oh, wow, a 34-year-old hitting on a legal adult. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're such a you're such a survivor of such horrific things. Oh my god. You're so wow. Oh my god. I feel so sorry for you. Oh my god. Maybe we should take away your fucking rights and that'll make you feel better, I guess. Jesus Christ. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Enough of this dumb bullshit. Just like whining, being a like fucking dumb white woman on social media. Just like whining and crying on social media. Just because like someone is getting canceled and so you're just trying to virtue signal. Literally, all of your content is just virtue signaling to people. That's all this is. You talk about a topic, you over sensationalize it, you overload the conversation, you build a very toxic audience for no fucking reason, and now you're talking about South Park, which is very funny because South Park is normally very, very edgy, but now suddenly you're gonna run defense for South Park just because they're making fun of Trump or whatever. Yeah, okay, great. We love a good virtue signal. We love a great virtue signal. Incredible stuff. Okay, so dumb idiots aside, we got this TikTok video that came out a day ago by this Chris Cadence guy. And then I guess we've got the video about the allegations. Hopefully we can actually get something of substance because so far everything I've seen is just like, can we actually, I just hope we get something that is like actually worth talking about here.
On the left is actually a bad person and is grifting just to have an audience. We've never seen this one before.
Crazy, you know, kind of like how a lot of men pretend to care about women, you know, and then they a lot of leftist men pretend to care about women just so they can sleep with them. It's kind of crazy.
Or these are the same people that will condemn you online for one bad take. Meanwhile, in their own personal lives, they don't stand on any type of business. They will sleep with anyone, no matter their political affiliation, while being online claiming they're morally superior to you.
Isn't that crazy that most people in the far left are like this exactly? I mean, it's kind of interesting, you know, like, I mean, everybody, I don't know, like, if this guy is, like, super far left or whatever, but, like, they're, like, everybody in, like, these very, because these are the spaces we're, like, diving into for this video, is these are extremely far left spaces, not, like, left-leaning spaces, like, far left is very different from just, like, a normal left-leaning person, which I would consider myself to be under that category. But, like, really far left spaces are very, very toxic. They hyper virtue signal about anything. And those spaces, like, the moment that these people, I wouldn't doubt that, like, whatever, this, like, lol guy or whatever, this, like, fucking Alex person, the lawyer or whatever, the guy who's, like, getting this pushback, is, like, he probably built his audience. He was in Hassan's circle, so he built his audience off of, like, a very, very, very toxic, like, far left spaces. And, like, when you, like, typically how this is done is by, like, endlessly virtue signaling. That's how a lot of these content creators, like, like, virtue signaling is a currency in a lot of these spaces. So, like, you end up bubbling up and overly virtue signaling, and then the moment something goes wrong, the moment you fuck up, even just a little bit, you are giving them more and more power to shit on you the moment anything goes fucking south. That's typically how a lot of these spaces are. And so that's probably what happened. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this guy, if you want me to just give, like, some input there.
These are the same people that last year, all their content was political this, political that. Then when the election's over and they have nothing to grift over.
Yeah, I mean, it's endless virtue signaling.
They start transitioning to baseball, they transition to other content, they become actors, they go private, they do everything but the business they had in 2024. So no, I am not surprised that a left-leaning man was using his platform to try and get women and send unsolicited dick pics to them.
Sending unsolicited dick pics. Okay, do we have, like, actual proof of this? That's not good if that's true. That's definitely, it could be, like, sex pest behavior. I guess that kind of checks out with what Hassan is. I can't believe I'm actually fucking agreeing with Hassan on something. Holy fuck. But it's like, that could check out with something.
And you guys
happened.
get mad at the I told you so or all of that, but unfortunately for us, we have been telling you that you leftists are grifters and you don't stand on anything you say, and you say it just to build a platform of people that think you're actually a good person when you're fucking not.
Yeah, most far left people are like this, just to be clear. Even people who aren't trying to build a platform, most people in, like, really far left spaces that, like, virtue signal to, whether it's to their friend group or whether just, like, to be more popular or whatever, like, that's typically, like, how people build it. So it's, like, I would say most people are virtue signaling, don't actually care what they talk about. Not saying that applies to everybody. I'm sure there are people who do care about what they talk about and do advocate for that sort of thing, but, like, most people don't actually care.
So miss me with that, oh, I can't believe this person did that. None of it surprises me.
All right, yeah. Do we have, like, proof that he sent unsolicited dick pics? I'd be curious to see that. All right, so this Cavernacle person is somebody who made a video on this situation. I saw this video earlier on Papa Gut's stream, but I couldn't find any other video covering the topic. I know Internet Versus did a video, but I don't know. It seemed like it would have been okay. Maybe, I don't know. It's just I'm trying to like find out where I can like find all this information in like one space. So we'll see if there's like anything of substance here. So it starts off by saying TikToker Loloverruled has posted and deleted an apology from his behavior online with women. He apologizes for sliding into DMs with women and denies sending threats or unsolicited photos. Okay, so he denies sending them threats or unsolicited photos. Okay, sure. I would like to show what accountability can look like. Really cannot express how sorry I... Okay, so just to be clear, him sliding into DMs on its own just to hit on women is not a bad thing. Like, as long as it's consensual, it's fine. If he is actively getting rejected and he kept hitting on them, very different story. If he's leveraging his power, if he's saying, hey, if you don't send me a picture of your tits, I'll do this to you, or if you do this to me, I'll do this to you, then, like, yeah, then that's different. But, like, we need to actually see that. But, like, sliding into DMs and hitting on people on its own, I could care less.
When another leftist male content creator gets exposed as a sex pest, everyone's making jokes about how this happens all the time.
Sex pest, okay. I mean, like, again, I would need to see proof that he, like, sent dick pics to these people, unsolicited.
But they're not wrong.
Guy whose brand is goofy dude that respects women and minorities just to hit on 10,000 followers on social media platform. Well, it's time to do some sex crimes. What? Okay, I mean, we would need to... Can we, like, actually see anything? Do we have, like, any, like, legitimate proof here? Okay.
It does seem to happen, like, every couple months that...
Andrew Callahan. Oh, yeah, the Andrew Callahan stuff. Yeah, my take on the Andrew Callahan stuff is... definitely what happened was not good at all. Like, I don't think he was actively trying to... It's more nuanced. We don't need to get into all of the Andrew Callahan stuff here, but essentially... Andrew Callahan was, like, thinking that the girl he was with was playing hard to get, and then he, like, overstepped some boundaries. I don't think he was actively trying to put her in a position where she was not unable to say no to him, or that she couldn't consent, or whatever. I don't think Andrew Callahan was trying to do that. It was, like, a form of sexual assault, but I don't think Andrew Callahan is, like, a predator from his situation. And he seemed like he was genuinely remorseful for it. He gave, like, a legitimate response. I actually found his response to be pretty damn good to the allegations. Like, he had a pretty good response. I think he can move on from it. I don't think he's, like, a predator from that situation. I looked at all of it, by the way. I looked into all of it. I don't think what happened was good, but I don't think the extent of it was life-ruining. That's pretty much my take.
Prominent person on the online left, or maybe sometimes liberals, gets outed as some sort of sex pest. And I guess with this video, I just want to talk about that. I want to talk about misogyny on the left. I wanted to talk about just like power dynamics of creators. This kind of feels like a combination of two videos I made. One about...
Dude, I literally just watched a video earlier of this woman telling me a man slid into her DMs and that he was a 34-year-old man trying to hit on a 26-year-old legal adult, and that he had more followers than her, and suddenly there's this, like, awful power dynamic. I don't care. Where is this same energy for every single groupie situation? Where is this same energy to people like PewDiePie, who dated his fan, married them, and then now they're having a baby together, right? Where is this same energy for, like, every single celebrity in the fucking world, dude? Why don't we criticize them? We don't. There's radio silence every time you bring it up, because the power dynamic argument, the only people who argue the power dynamic argument are actual fucking morons. They're actually stupid. Like, only dumb people, like, everyone that pearl clutches about this talking point is so stupid. They are dumb. They are morally fucking just inept. Or, sorry, they're mentally inept, is what I meant to say. I'm so fucking, we're only, 2 videos in and I'm already triggered because everyone has no one has the correct conversation about this topic at all.
Online misogyny and...
Also, bit of a footnote here. This guy is apparently Kavos' brother. And I'm looking at them and, listen, Kavos is, a polar opposite of who this guy is. I almost don't even believe it. You would never think that they're siblings, because Kavos is, a lot more edgier than this guy is. And apparently this guy is just, a lot of his content is, if we look at a lot of his content, a lot of it just seems to be, okay, yeah, they got political, bread tube in Gaza, socialism in Kojima, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, so, a lot of his content is it's a lot of, left-leaning content. So it's, very... almost different from what Kavos is like normally known for.
One about why do so many content creators get outed as bad people. Now, in that video specifically, we were talking about people across the political spectrum, across loads of different content niches, and a lot of what these people did wasn't really related to them being like a sex pest. So you had Mr. Beast treating his workers like absolute crap, among other things. The worst thing...
What, you mean the dog pack video where he was like endlessly fucking lying and it was arguing a lot of points in really bad faith? Yeah, that video was terrible. The dog pack the dog pack videos were fucking terrible. They always were terrible.
Things he did were related really to how he runs his business. People like Asmongold who just said the most terrible shit imaginable. Like, you get the picture. Like,
oh yeah, where Asmongold had his take about Palestine, where he said that they were an inferior culture and he was dog whistling that they deserved to die as a result of it. Yeah, that was problematic. I called that out. It was not a good take at all. It was definitely Asmongold's worst take of all time, for sure.
People have all said and done things that are bad. But why it's different in like left-wing spaces is, of course, we are meant to be left-wing. Left-wing people believe in equality. They're meant to be feminist, anti-capitalist, socialist, believe in the good of all humanity. And then you get...
Sure, but I mean also like left-wing people, a lot of like really far left men who like are who call themselves feminists often do it just so they can like sleep with women. I feel like you saw that with like Harry Sisson or whatever. Just to be clear, I don't think what Harry Sisson did was problematic. I think he's just a bit of a fuckboy. That's really it. But that was an example of it.
Loads of men who are prominent in this space using that power to do a variety of things, mainly regarding their treatment of women and the LGBT community in the pursuit of sexual conquest. Now, the thing is, I'm going to drop some names in this video, and of course, some people have faced like very terrible allegations which are like heinous and illegal, including things like sexual assault, and the scale of it isn't the same for everyone. But what these people all share is that they're supposedly male feminists, they're socialists who want equality for everyone, but still use their power in the left-wing community to help with sexual conquest or actually terribly abusing people. And I want to...
Okay, so do we have that? Do you have like any evidence where he like leverages his power in any way? Because listen, if this is going to be another conversation, like I already saw this video, so like if this is going to be like a conversation, like listen, I don't know if anyone else has like another video on this topic. I'm trying to educate myself on this situation as best as I can in good faith, but like watching this video again, is there going to be at any point a moment where he abuses his power, where he leverages his power, where he is actively trying to put these women in positions where they can't say no? If there's not going to be any of that there, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Talk about maybe like why that is, the hypocrisy, and just generally how being a leftist man doesn't mean shit when it comes to things like misogyny. And I was very open in
It doesn't.
a video about online misogyny, about passive misogyny. So what we see with...
So are you one of the good ones then? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Hey women, I'm one of the good ones.
conservatives is often...
Look at me. Am I proving to you that I'm not gay yet?
like very, very active misogyny.
Sorry, I'm that's not a homophobic dog whistle, just to be clear. That ain't a homophobic dog whistle.
Where they're not even trying to hide it. Actually, my last video was all about that. It was conservatives arguing, should they be monogamous so they can control women in one relationship, or should they have multiple relationships where they control multiple women? Fundamentally, conservatives aren't shy about saying they see women as property. But I think generally with leftist straight men and straight content creators, we're more impacted by things like passive misogyny. So a lot of our...
How? Can you please explain? Can you, like, actually just, like, explain what you're talking about instead of just, like, going on these monologues and giving us, like, so much pretext? I think we get the idea.
Misogynistic tendencies or misogynistic coverage of reaction to things or misogyny that seeps into our actual content, it's not something we're even actively aware of, and I'll speak about that in a bit. But then you have the other angle of people who are active misogynists but use their leftist politics as a shield, and they are active misogynists in private, and that's...
Okay, can you, like, show us anything, please?
How they regard sex workers, non-binary people, trans women, any man who's pursuing some sort of sexual conquest. So I just want to talk about all of this today.
Okay, please, like, I already know what he's gonna talk about, but it's just like I feel like my well has been poisoned so much by like the first few videos on this topic, or mainly just the first video, and the way people are talking about this is just so fucking disproportionate. I want like something of substance.
But let's first talk about the main focus of the video. That is a content creator called Loloverruled. Now, obviously, I've been in the space a lot longer than most. I would say, even though I started my YouTube channel in 2017, I'd say I've been in leftist spaces since 2018. So I've seen creators come and go. I've seen creators pop out of nowhere and then rise. This guy became very prominent very quickly. I think he first became big on TikTok, and that was for videos on him being a public defender, I believe, and also just general politics. And then he became pretty big on Twitter as well. I remember him going viral and getting...
Yeah, he was in Hassan's orbit a few times.
Bigger for things like criticizing Mr. Beast, and Generally, he had a lot of connections in the online leftist space. You would have seen him collab with people like Ole and people like Hassan. I'd say the most exposure he got to like wider leftist audiences was consistently featuring on Hassan's stream.
Hassan Parker. Are you a Hassan cum guzzler by chance? Because I'd be curious to know that.
And they appeared.
Definitely seems like this video creator might be. It's again, I cannot believe that this guy is related to Kavos, by the way. That is mind-blowing. These two, they are not alike at all. Kavos is like the polar opposite of who this guy is. It's insane.
Friend. Now, I had actually seen people talking on social media about him being a creep for quite a while, but they were normally just talking amongst themselves in like comment sections when they were talking about like leftist men and stuff like that. There hadn't been like multiple allegations against this guy and ones that went into more detail. And as of the time of me recording this video, people were saying more stuff is going to come out, not just about him being in people's DMs and being like a general creep and being a creep in person, in that he
unfortunately, I've seen evidence of him being a sex pest. He sent a video of himself jacking off to the bath to a sex worker friend he was DMing on Twitter. Oh my god. Bro, where is the fucking proof? Where? Why are we just saying things? Bro, everyone, dude, my biggest fucking issue with people in these far left spaces is they want to do the right thing and they want to quote unquote believe all victims and they want to believe everyone that comes forward with a story. They don't have to come out with proof of anything, right? And then the moment people ask for proof, suddenly you are like, they'll look at you like as if you're like a fucking heretic or something. Like you're a horrific heretic to this fucking cult of people. And I've lived through this too. So like I know what it's like to be in these fucking spaces. I understand what it's like to be in these dumb fucking spaces that constantly push these dumb fucking narratives. And that like asking for proof is like a horrific thing. No, it is actual basic innocent until proven guilty like conduct. That is actually a very normal thing to do, believe it or not. And then like all of a sudden, when it's an Israeli, like in Hassan Parker spaces, when Israeli women who like, there's literal multiple UN reports saying that Israeli women were fucking raped during October 7th. Suddenly they just actively want to downplay it and deny it and then be like, well, where's the evidence? There's no evidence that this ever happened. Like, what the fuck? Pick a fucking struggle. Pick a virtue signal. Like, you guys can't do both. Like, what are you talking about? Like, be fucking consistent with your own values. If you're gonna believe all women, then actually fucking believe all women. Nobody cares about what they talk about at all in these spaces.
Keeps propositioning loads of women. He has sent videos of himself doing sex acts in people's DMs, and lots of people who don't want to talk about the explicit details have said he's also been creepy to them. And I saw Ole put out How? And she said she's hearing more stuff's going to come out about him actually being an abuser.
How? Literally the first DM we saw earlier, the first YouTube story that we saw was him sliding into someone's DMs. He got rejected and then that was it. He unliked the photos and they were upset, and the fucking video creator was obsessively checking to see if he unliked the photos or not, and she was a massive fucking hypocrite about it. Like, where's the evidence that he's some kind of a pest? Where?
Something that I was obviously privy to. I was completely oblivious to whatever the fuck was going on, and it's a betrayal of my trust. I don't know what else to say. Apparently.
Yeah, okay. Get the virtue signal. I mean, Hassan is forced to pretty much say this, or else like most people will eat him. Actually, no, honestly, regardless of what Hassan does, I don't think people will eat him up because most people in the far left spaces don't ever criticize him. So whatever.
And I don't know the full details of what's going on, but I heard like.
But I mean, I guess he took the path of virtue signaling to make himself look good and to maintain like some relevance, I guess.
Bits and pieces about him, like potentially being abusive.
How?
And I didn't know enough about what was going on, but it was enough for me to like, sever ties.
So interesting, Hassan. Why won't you extend that same charitability to all the Israeli women who got raped on October 7th that you actively deny all the time? Why won't you extend the same logic to them, right? And don't get me wrong, I think what the Israeli government is doing to Palestine is fucking awful, and their response to October 7th has been extremely disproportionate. The initial response, I think, was justified. The initial response was justified, but now it's gotten to a point where several years have passed since October 7th, and now like Israel's response is very disproportionate, and so many Palestinian civilians have died, and that's really fucking awful. So like I don't know why you won't extend that same charitability to Israeli civilians who were raped on October 7th by Hamas, but I guess maybe I shouldn't expect anything less from someone who has terrorist propaganda on their fucking live stream constantly.
Sex pest doesn't seem, it feels insufficient. It feels woefully insufficient to describe not just like what people are talking about now and he's being publicly accused of, but like what I am hearing behind the scenes is the case. Like, to echo some of what Hassan's sentiments were in the video that he was hearing about him being abusive. Similarly, that is
where is the fucking... Do we have, like, any proof here? Any proof that he is abusive? Anything. Anything. Even, like, a fucking, like, drop of piss worth of, like, evidence, please.
I'm hearing about it, and that is what I anticipate that the public is
Where?
hearing about more soon.
Where? Where? Oh my god, I got a fucking ad. Hold on a second. Alright, we're back. Holy fuck. Sorry, I had to edit out the part where I got an ad, and I forgot to turn on my ad block. I'm actually, like, so fucking, like... I'm legitimately, like, we're 6 minutes in, we've gotten several videos in already, and I'm, like, I feel almost, like, triggered to oblivion at this situation. This situation seems so stupid, based on everything I'm hearing. Like, what are we fucking talking about?
Of power and influence in the community for his sexual gratification. And it says so much about how he views himself, how he views non-binary people, trans women, and how he just viewed them as sex objects for him. And regardless of...
Where does he say any of this?
Of if this guy had a sex addiction, which apparently he wrote about.
Maybe he does, but, like, let him deal with it offline.
It doesn't excuse his behavior. I just don't see it as a defense. So it seems like...
Okay, what do we got? Hey gang, sorry for no peace today, or yesterday. Things have been a bit hectic for me recently. I might have a friend or two write a guest piece in the next week or two and then get back to it. Having some mental health stuff happen, getting to a breaking point, so I am having an intensive outpatient at one of those fancy type places in Connecticut. Be back not too long, hopefully. Thanks for all the love and support, Alex. Okay, cool, whatever.
Loloverruled tried to get ahead of everything. He was talking to people about having a mental breakdown and saying he was going to go away for a bit, but he did respond to the allegations after a lot of people came out and condemned him from the online community. And I just want to read it for you. And some people are saying, and I'm just want to talk about this as well, that in left-wing circles, we believe in rehabilitation. And...
I want to believe that. I really do. I want to believe that progressives believe in rehabilitation and believing in reform and stuff, but, like, so far in all these, it is so commonly in all these far left spaces that, like, they don't actually extend that level of charitability that they claim. Like, the moment that someone doesn't align slightly with their beliefs, they try to cancel that person very disproportionately. So it's like, I want to believe it, but I have a hard time believing it because you guys don't seem to actually stay true to that value, even though that's, like, one of the main core beliefs of being progressive.
If he's going to go do the work and he apologizes, then maybe one day he could be accepted back in the online space. I dispute that for multiple reasons. I don't think
Yeah, I bet you do. Let's see you somehow, like, virtue signal over this, Mr. Cavernacle.
Rehabilitation means you deserve to come back and have a massive social media platform amongst the left-wing audience. But
women, do you see me yet? Women, I'm sticking up for you. You see me yet? You see me? I'm not one of those guys. I'm not as bad as this guy.
Let's talk about his statement. So he writes, "This is not my full apology, and it isn't meant to be. I still need some time to figure out how to do that and what that looks like. There's a lot being said about my behavior. I am absolutely embarrassed and ashamed of myself in many instances and have been a real arsehole. I don't deny that at all." Okay, he's saying he's embarrassed, ashamed, arsehole. I know many people...
Sure, okay, he probably is.
People are disappointed, and I'm disappointed in myself. I've hurt people emotionally, and I regret it immensely. But I do want to clarify some things. Yes, I slid into a lot of people's DMs. I think I didn't really think of it as a huge deal, but it's clear I did not fully grasp how some people could feel about that or even think I was some kind of famous person, which I have never honestly felt about myself.
I don't care if... Listen, again, I've talked about the power dynamic argument earlier. Listen, I don't care if someone is more famous than someone else. Like, listen, if we're going to really talk about the power dynamic argument, like, again, you know what? Like, what are we fucking talking about? I don't care about the power dynamic argument. I really don't. Like, the power dynamic argument, there's power dynamics in every fucking relationship you can think of. Where is the same energy for all those power dynamics, huh? Why is it when suddenly somebody who could potentially have like 7,500 followers talks to one of their fans and suddenly the whole fucking internet goes up in arms about this, like, power dynamic argument? It's a childish argument. It's so childish. Grow up.
And I always feel like a random internet side character. That's bullshit. No, I did not send photos unsolicited. It may have been the case in some instances that I genuinely misread the conversations we were having, but no, I didn't just randomly send something. No, I have not threatened anyone. I saw something to that effect being said. I do believe some of what's being said is genuinely libel and defamation. I'm not, however, interested in arguing with people or suing or anything like that. It's also entirely possible there was miscommunications and conversations misread, but I take full responsibility for making people uncomfortable. Again, this is not meant to be an exhaustive apology, it really isn't. I'm sorry to the people I've made uncomfortable or hurt emotionally. I know it doesn't matter to some of you now, but I'm glad this stuff is being talked about in a way. It's forcing me to actually look at myself hard in the mirror and do something about it. I'm going to be pretty offline for a bit, doing an intensive outpatient program.
Whatever, dude. Have fun, I guess.
I don't know what will happen next. I may never come back to the internet in the same capacity again. I don't know. I want to do better, and I genuinely want to make amends to the people I've impacted. I hope some people give me the opportunity to do that. I do not expect it at all, but I'm always available to listen and talk if anyone wants to. I don't want to be a piece of shit guy. I have been. I think the way I've acted has not been in line with my character and does not reflect the man I want to be. I'm seeking help to better myself. I am sorry it took so long. Accountability is a weird thing. You can really only take accountability for yourself. If you want to pretend something isn't a problem, you can try and weather any storm that comes.
That's another thing. Whenever, like, far left spaces say, like, take accountability, what does that actually mean? What does it actually mean to take accountability? Like, again, all we see is, right, people will say, oh my god, you need to take accountability. There's no accountability here. Okay, what does accountability look like to you? They don't have a response to that. There's nothing. There's nothing to that. You want to know why? Because it's not actually about taking accountability. It's about virtue signaling. That's all this is. That's all people mean when they say take accountability. Is this guy virtue signaling? Maybe. Probably. I mean, he did, like, enter these left-leaning spaces and advocated for a lot of left-leaning values. So, yeah, probably it is a virtue signal to some extent. But it's like, again, the people that call this shit out are so disproportionate and are also probably virtue signaling as well. No one is fucking good in this situation. Again, I don't know about this guy. I feel like his allegations seem to be very sensationalized. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, so far, I've seen very little proof on any, like, bad behavior from this guy whatsoever. I've seen very little fucking proof. And yet, the moment these people come forward with any allegation, without any evidence or whatever, suddenly, like, they're just believed instantly. That's it. Yep, that's done and over with. Yet, a lot of these people who hang out in Hassan's space won't extend that same charitability to Israeli women who have been raped, and there was a fucking UN report saying that rapes happened on October 7th. I don't know what else to tell you. There was a literal UN report that said they happened.
Pretends it isn't real. I don't want to be that way. In the very least, I would like to show what accountability looks like. Really cannot express how sorry I am to all. But I'm just going to flag my problems with it. The bit about libel and defamation and suing people, or not suing people, I think is just, like, emotionally manipulative.
How? How is it manipulative? Please explain stop fucking using words and just actually explain it. Holy fuck, dude. Why are you all so disproportionate? Why do you feel the need to load every conversation? Why?
Meant to think you're some sort of good guy because, you know, we know you know the law and we know you are a lawyer, right? You're not.
Guys, women, I'm not as bad as this guy. Look at me. Women, I'm not as bad as this guy. Look at me. Shut the fuck up, dude.
To sue people who are coming out with stories about you being a creep. Firstly, I don't know how you'd prove.
Oh my god, how? Please, give me something. Give me, like, a shred of evidence, please.
A lot of that is defamation, and most of the people who've come out strongly against you seem to have quite a bit of evidence, so you're not noble for
show it then! If there's quite a bit of evidence, then fucking show it!
Doing that, and I feel like this middle part of the statement just undermines everything he says. Like, sure, you're saying you can only be accountable to yourself, but it seems like you aren't taking accountability. You acted shitty, you should admit it, you should go away, you shouldn't even talk about coming back.
Wow. Look at you, you're so noble. Sticking up to this horrific guy. Look at you, so noble of you.
Online, because no one gives a shit about that, and that's what I'm saying with the rehabilitation.
I don't give a shit about this situation in general so far based on what I'm seeing. This whole thing is fucking... I'm gonna start using slurs, actually. I'm actually gonna start using slurs in a minute. Like...
Thing. Yes, in a socialist society, we believe in rehabilitation and not just, like, locking people up forever and letting them rot. In theory, rehabilitation doesn't mean you get everything you had back. Like, for example...
So why don't you guys actually extend that fucking level of values? Why don't you guys actually live up to those values instead of just, like, endlessly trying to fucking cancel people for dumb bullshit? If that's how you actually believe, if you actually believe in rehabilitation, if you actually believe in reform, then why don't you actually show those values instead of trying to constantly cancel people for dumb fucking bullshit all the time?
If we're dealing with, like, an abusive husband or father or something, and they've crossed the line, they've done something, and you want to rehabilitate them, it doesn't mean they have to come back and be in their children's lives or be a husband again. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, we want to rehabilitate people and bring you back into society. It doesn't mean you get everything you had before, because you've affected people's lives, you've hurt people, and you have to admit that, and that is all on you. And taking accountability is not deflecting, not talking about how noble you are because you won't sue people for defamation over this. And also,
you sure are talking a lot about how noble you're being. Also, there's no evidence that he's abusive so far. I haven't seen anything that even remotely indicates that he's abusive. He's just sliding in girls' DMs, and it might be a little bit inappropriate, maybe, but it's like, they have agency over themselves. They can talk. It's not like... dude, there's no abuse of power either. You guys are saying he's, like, got, like, a horrible power dynamic. This whole thing is fucking terminally online as fuck. And it's just, like, it just reeks of endlessly virtue signaling.
The characterization of his conversation saying that, I didn't really understand what kind of conversation we were having. It's so clear he was pushing the boundaries in so many of these exchanges that
Oh my god. Holy fuck. How?
it's wild that he's even framing it like this. So it's probably surprising no one he deleted this apology, because
Okay, he probably deleted it because the internet's giving him like a fucking disproportionate, endless amount of fucking heat and hate on it. Like, because Twitter is fucking psychotic. Twitter has like, hot take, a lot of Twitter has fucking psychopaths that don't actually care about anything they're talking about. They're just fucking endlessly replying because they feel good in taking someone else down. It makes themselves feel good about doing it. And you seem to be feeling really good about being quote-unquote noble, about sticking up to this quote-unquote horrific person, which we haven't even seen anything that would even remotely indicate it.
It makes him look even worse, and also I think exposes some of the worst traits of leftist men in general, just the way they
You're
talk
one of the good ones, clearly. Yeah, you're one of the good leftist men.
about these things. They know,
Women, can you sleep with me yet, please? Can you sleep with me yet? I'm one of the good ones.
I wouldn't call it necessarily therapy speak. It kind of feels adjacent to that, and it feels very like weaponized and very much designed
Holy
to try and
fuck,
get people
dude.
to feel bad for him and forgive him.
Holy fuck, get to the point, dude. You're fucking boring the shit out of me.
And to me, this strikes me way too much as a guy who's thinking about how he can survive this and how he can come back. And what this was trying to do was set the stage for this comeback.
I wonder what happens whenever this guy gets into a controversy. This guy, people like this, I swear to God, people stopped maturing when they got famous. Like, how long has this guy been doing YouTube for? How long has this guy been doing YouTube for? 2017. His oldest video was back in, like, early. I don't know. He only got, like, 1,000 views per video, though, back in the day. But it's like, I swear to God, when people get famous, it's like that their maturity stops. Like, they stop becoming mature. They stop actually, like, what the fuck? That really needs to be studied. Like, people stop maturing whenever they get famous, then they just stick in their little bubble, and then they, like, endlessly virtue signal to either maintain that audience or to continue to grow their fucking platform. And what winds up happening is whenever something goes wrong, whenever one thing happens, their entire career gets fucking tanked. So I wonder what's going to happen when this guy makes a fucking mistake online, or he makes a mistake in the real world and it gets like put on blast, and then suddenly everyone tanks on him. Like, is your audience going to like turn on you then?
The stage where he can say, yeah, I worked on this, and even him talking about people talking to him about this, like who are accusing him, I'm assuming he's saying, yeah, it's wild. So I want to talk about some of this a bit more, but Ole put out a good video today where she spoke about it, and she knows him personally, right? Like, a lot of us do not know him personally. You know Loloverruled, the character online. And one part of this I want to play you. I'll link it. It's on Twitter, so you might not have that. But she basically says that he knows better, and the sex addiction stuff
Can you show us that?
is not an excuse. Like, he knows the power dynamic aspect. He knows all of this. So
I don't care about the power dynamic. I don't give a fuck.
the little part about, I never see myself as...
Okay, alright. Sort of surprised I don't have a Wikipedia page at this point. Is that self-involved to think that? Or am I delusional? Oh, is that like his private account? Okay, whatever.
An e-celeb is laughable, because I'm way smaller than him. I had way less followers than him, and I understand the power dynamics of a creator and people who are fans of your content. So the fact that he...
Oh my god, fucking power dynamics. Oh my god. Where's the videos about groupies? Where's the video about fucking one of the people in the Rolling Stones getting their fucking dick sucked by a groupie, huh? Where's that video? I don't see your energy about that. Alright, you know what? Power dynamics are so abusive. Okay, yeah, power dynamics. Okay, you know what? Great. You know what? Let's play this game. Let's do the power dynamic game, all right? Every time there is a power dynamic, it is automatically abusive. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do this. Guess what? Interracial relationships are gone. Relationships between men and women, gone. Completely gone. You can't date somebody who is in a D&D game because that's gone. There's power dynamics in D&D games. You can no longer date somebody who between men and I already said men and women. You can no longer date someone who makes more money than you. You can no longer date somebody who is smarter than you. That's gone. You can't date someone who's taller than you. You have to be the same height. You have to make the same amount of money. You have to like be the same height. You have to be same everything. You have to date someone in a very, very specific set of characteristics, and now everybody has to be gay. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. We have to like force people to be fucking gay now. That is where we're at. Relationships between men and women are so abusive. We have gone so far left with this power dynamic argument that now we have to be white supremacists, because interracial relationships are problematic, according to these people. We now have to make everybody gay. We now have to make everybody have the same amount of money, or else they can't date, because, again, power dynamic, that's a thing. Also, long-distance relationships are gone, because there's a power dynamic there, too. You can't have long-distance relationships either. Those are completely gone, too. You have to live in the same spot. You have to have the same height. You have to make the same amount of money. That's where we're at with power dynamics. That is the consensus of your argument. That is essentially what you are arguing when you make the power dynamic argument. I hope we understand that that is what we argue whenever you say that power dynamics are abusive. That's what you're saying. Here's the reality of this situation. The reality is it is okay for a power dynamic to exist in any relationship, because most relationships have them, as long as that power isn't leveraged, as long as that power doesn't get abused in any way. So as long as he doesn't say, if you don't have sex with me, I'll do this to you, or if you do have sex with me, I'll do this to you, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
He can go on the biggest streamers platform multiple times that everyone in that community knows who he is, and they know he's friends with Hassan, and then act like no one knows who he is absolutely wild, and he does fucking know.
I'm blown away. And there's just no excuse for it, because the reality is, Alex knows better. There's just no world. I see people floating around all these different like things, calling him like a sex addict and all these like different excuses and stuff.
You probably just want to make yourself look better. Like you don't want to look terrible for associating with someone that is now like not seen as acceptable to associate with anymore, because you're in like those really far left toxic spaces. That's typically how it works in a lot of these spaces.
Like I'm not sure where that's come from. It's like Alex and I are not best friends. Like I don't know everything about the man, but I've known him. I don't know the man to be a sex addict or any of these things. None of this has been presented to me, and I say that to say.
So
that's
true,
delivered,
Queen.
right? Like
you got it, Queen. So true.
He's an attorney. He is a leftist. He's all these different things. He's cognizant of exactly why what he would be doing with the things that he's being accused of, or what he's been doing, is wrong. He knows.
How? Please give us an example. Give us an example, please. Just anything. Any sort of proof that he is like leveraging his power against them. Because so far, what I've seen is he just slides in DMs and he gets rejected. Hot take, I don't know why you would slide in the DMs of that fucking woman we saw earlier. Like, all she does is just endlessly virtue signal. Like, women like that to me are boring. Hot take.
Period, point blank, the end of it. He also knows what the consequences are. He knows all these dynamics. There's nothing that he does not know. So there's just no excuses that could be made for him on that front. And as far as all this, and I can only come to the conclusion that he knows what he's doing because he's known who to show it to. I've never, in all my time, you've never told me this. You ain't never told me.
Fucking God. Please get to the... I'm not gonna fucking listen to this woman. She's actually boring the shit out of me. I can't listen to her. She's actually, like, boring the shit out of me. Like, you're not giving any fucking examples. You're just, like, endlessly fucking going and just, like, virtue signaling over and over and over again.
Excuse for it. There's just no excuse for it.
So, yeah, I just thought that was important as someone who knew him, just to kind of dispel the notion that, like, he was a sex addict who got in over his head or something like that. Now let's talk about the content creator.
Oh, my God. I can't believe this guy is Cabos' brother. I refuse to believe it. There's just no way. Was he, like, adopted or something?
And let's talk about like the power dynamics. So we see this a lot with men, especially in this space, who use their platform for their own sexual gratification. And we have
oh my God, it's the language here is just so insane.
Numerous people who've done that. But in terms of the content creator like dynamic, so regardless of what people
I don't care.
Say, every content creator knows there is a power dynamic they can exploit.
I don't care. 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 I don't care.
Before we actually elaborate on how that works, great examples of this, because people in Hassan's community who like Loloverruled would not believe the allegations.
God, you seem to love Hassan's community very much.
And some of them were crazily defending him. Like, I saw this on Twitter. Someone saying, I'd like to apologise for the inappropriate way I reacted to the news regarding Lolo. I've developed a very unhealthy parasocial relationship with this content over
Oh, parasocial. That's the new buzzword here now. Yeah. That's the brand new buzzword here in this situation.
It's 5 years, and I reacted very immaturely and with great suspicion towards the allegations. I'd like to apologise to anyone I made feel uncomfortable. Now, this person was basically in every thread, like, doubting the allegations. And this is obviously, like, a result of just content creators in general. You're going to have these crazed fans.
A lot of you who think that you are principled leftists are just parasocialists, okay? You are just like...
Parasocialists! Oh, my God. I'm actually gonna fucking, like... staple my nuts off the fucking John Hancock building. Holy fuck.
Chronically online, and you're going with...
Oh, yeah, we're the chronically online ones. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys, like, it's just arguing about power dynamics endlessly, but we're the chronically online ones. Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Man.
Make it make sense to me. Please, like, actually make it make sense to me.
That you're a fan of says. And you wait until...
A fan? Oh, my God. He was such a hopeless fan. How dare he? Meanwhile, groupie situations, no noise for that whatsoever.
And I know, I'm going to call your asses out. I know that there were those of you who waited to hear Hassan condemn. And that was only then when you would condemn because you were not actually principled. You are a parasocialist who gets all of your opinions from your Twitch streamer.
I mean, I think everybody gets their opinions from whatever is like the most socially acceptable.
I am not blaming Hassan here, but I am talking about the people who are living in these very narrow worlds.
I'm not blaming Hassan here, even though he's had terrorist propaganda on his live stream.
Where you don't listen to queer people, you don't listen
I
to...
guess technically that doesn't have anything to do with this situation, so just a little bit of charitability, but still, fucking, I'm just so over... Like, I'm already over this situation. We're, like, halfway through this video, and we've not seen anything of substance whatsoever.
And then you don't diversify your sources.
And, like, I've already seen this video before, but, like, watching it a second time is, like, really irritating. Like, just, like, reviewing this entire situation, just hearing people talk about this situation fucking irritates the shit out of me. Because no one ever has the correct conversations about anything like remotely worth talking. Like, we have such incorrect conversations about like boundaries, consent, and like all the like sexual assault culture. All these people who advocate about sexual assault culture and all these like different things about sexual assault culture, the moment you like all these people who endlessly virtue signal about, the moment you ask them about sexual assault culture and all the specifics of it, they're gonna be like, fucking error 404 stopped working and shit. They literally like stop responding. They don't have anything to say to you when you actually like try to bring it up.
And so when this shit happens, you are no different than the people on the right who you think you are superior to.
Wow. And you're different, and you guys are all different, endlessly just like fucking condemning people and stuff here. You guys are different.
But there's also an element people don't talk about. They act like this is completely natural. And in some ways, this is always going to happen.
Like, most of this video so far is just this guy literally saying, hey, I'm not as bad as this guy. Please like me instead. Like, this whole situation is just one giant virtue signal. And it's so boring.
But people like Loloverruled, and he's not a unique example.
This is why Trump won the election. Just to be fucking clear, like this is why Trump won the election. Like, this is one of the big fucking reasons I think he won the election. This is why people fucking hate the left right now. Is because of people like this who endlessly talk about shit that no one fucking cares about in the real world.
They cultivate this audience because even the way he would tweet would be like, "Are you guys mad at me?" without the question mark. His annoying style of tweeting is why I unfollowed him or I muted him or whatever back in the day, because it was always just trying to get people to reply to his tweets in a way to like validate his own personal feelings. He had a private Twitter account, which I didn't even know about, where he was tweeting like more like sexually graphic things. Just
why? When? Where? Just show us something. Show us something. Show us. Please.
Generally, he had a Substack, and I think he had paywalled articles in there as well. He had his TikTok, he had all these social media pages, and he was a guy who cultivated parasociality. And what that looks
parasociality, what do these words mean to you? What do they mean to you? We're just using every fucking buzzword we could find in the dictionary.
like is people being so invested in the community they're creating and making it so important to their daily lives. These aren't people often, like Loloverruled, and I'd say streamers like Vosh and a couple others, they're not people who are like, I am going to put something out into the world, I'm going to create content, and that's going to like help educate people, it's going to help with the discourse, it's going to make some...
Okay, yeah, sure. It's just like, it's doing the typical leftist content creator strategy, yeah.
something better. They're people who are primarily motivated by social standing and clout. Not saying they don't believe what...
Yeah, and you aren't? That's real funny coming from you, someone who's making this whole video about it just an endless virtue signal and trying to accuse him of things that without showing any evidence. Actually, we haven't seen anything of substance from this guy whatsoever. This has been a horrible fucking dog shit video.
They say, but you can see how certain content creators act. They really care. And content creators who often talk about...
They really care, yeah. Hassan Parker really cares about Palestine. He really cares, even though he won't fucking stop drinking a soda that's on the BDS list, or he won't make an effort to try to stream on multiple different platforms because Twitch is a subsidiary of Amazon, which is also on the BDS list. But instead, he'll just like endlessly lie about it and being like, well, actually, streaming on Twitch is kind of okay, even though it's on the BDS list, and he'll make up like this endless bullshit and just lie about it. Hassan Parker is literally just Donald Trump of the left. That's all he is.
Everything. I'm always super suspicious of, because I'm like, why are you living your life so online? Like, why are you pursuing this validation so hard? Because I guess
you all are terminally online.
From out the angle of, I'm left wing, I want to put out my opinion, I want to educate people, I want to put out something that people will like. I'm not so much interested in becoming besties with everyone. And honestly, I really do not want a community of people who are like all obsessed with me and stuff. And I don't know if people notice, you might have, I've had a channel for ages. I really steer away from cultivating parasociality and see...
Yeah, okay.
Seeking validation online as much as I can. Of course, I do that, but I don't want to get too personal with people. And I do respond to DMs on Instagram mainly, and there's a few nice interactions I've had with people, and a few people who've been kept messaging me over the years since I was very small, who I really appreciate. But at the same time, I often like ignore them. They go unread for like months and months, because you have to balance your real life with your online life. And
yeah, okay, whatever. That's your boundaries that you've set up. Whatever, dude.
I feel like creators who have normal lives and don't really create
this really, like, this whole video, it literally just comes across as, hey women, I'm not as bad as this guy, please don't fucking cancel me. That's all this video is, by the way. That's literally all this comes across to me as. That's what this video reads to me as.
these communities online centered around them.
And it's so boring. It's so fucking boring.
Are, in my opinion, less likely to be exposed for doing something like bad, because I think the common thing a lot of these leftist men share is a lot of them are just super online all the time, creating communities that center around them and their opinions, and really encouraging the over focus on them personally, and I guess oversharing in like private chats, and that could be on like private Discord servers as well. I feel like all of these things make your audience go crazy or attract the worst type of people to your audiences, like this person here saying, I've had such an unhealthy
hot take. Listen, if you are like parasocial and you get fucking starstruck by a content creator and you can't help it yourself and you send like a picture of your tits to them or whatever, you're fucking stupid. You need to log off the internet. Maybe you shouldn't be on the fucking internet. I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, that is not an abuse of a power dynamic to me. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not an abuse of a fucking power dynamic, and that seems to be like the massive insinuation here.
Social relationship with his content for 4 to 5 years. Now that he's been outed as a sex pest, I have to go on a rampage defending.
How? How? Please, just show me. How?
Him from all allegations, because I've tied up my personality so much in this guy who I think I know, and yes, that's a certain personality type who's going to do that, but you have to create the environment for that person to get obsessed in the first place. And for as much as I have criticism for like video essayists, I do appreciate
video essayists. Are you all people that essay people? Essayists? Sorry. I'm bored. I'm just thinking of any joke I can make at this point.
They don't do this. Like, you just have your video essays, you put them out, you might have a little community, but it's not absolutely insane and centered around you like you're some sort of king. And especially for men, content creators who are men in this space, you know you have the power. You know
oh god, I fucking can't, dude. Oh my god, you have the power in the spaces, men. Do better, men. Hey women, I'm not that bad. Please come follow my channel, or please talk to me some more. Let me fucking slide in those DMs. Please, women, please. I'm good. Please, man, please. This has been such a horrifically dog shit video. Like, so we have not gotten anything on this guy whatsoever. Oh my god.
You have the power to do this, and you know you have the power to exploit relationships with people for whatever means. Like,
how does that work? How does that work? Please explain to me how that works.
Financial, could be about getting sponsorships or better collaborations, and for a lot of men, they use their online leftist community as basically a place where they can pursue some sort of sexual conquest.
Oh, okay, so got it. So the argument you're making is the online leftist community that they cultivated, right? They use it as like a breeding ground to find women to fucking internet rape them, because that's what you're saying. He's basically, you're not gonna say it like that because it sounds ridiculous, but you're trying to say that he's trying to internet rape all these women that he talks to. That is like the intentionality that you're assigning. That is the insinuation you are assigning to this fucking situation.
Well,
and you haven't shown us anything. There's nothing here. Is there anything else here? Leftist and misogyny. It's just, I'm close to 2 times speeding this video because this is miserable. This is fucking miserable to watch.
And they see no issue with it, and they know more people will be receptive in this environment to them and their advances than if they were in the real world, and they can also take it to a...
Kavos is far left, like uber online leftist cucked bread tube brother, basically. That's who you are.
Greater extreme. Now, if you're someone, let's say, like Loloverruled, who also has some sort of sex addiction, you can see...
Okay, yeah, you haven't shown us anything that would indicate that, but sure.
See why he would absolutely capitalize on this power dynamic to be sliding into everyone's DMs who might like his content.
I don't care. I don't care about power dynamic. I don't care. Listen, if they responded to him and sent him a picture of his tits because he was a content creator, then like log off. If that like is enough to upset you, or that's enough for you to get to do that, that is parasocial and you need to fucking log off.
Way overstepping the boundaries. And if he has a
how is he overstepping boundaries?
Addiction or whatever, I don't think it really matters, because I feel like it's way more calculating of, I am going to create this community like this and then do the thing.
How? There's nothing. There's nothing that would even remotely indicate that.
So I don't think it's like some sort of addiction which...
What about groupies? You have anything to say about groupies?
he cannot control.
What about every single celebrity? Every single athlete? What about every single famous person in the real world that dates someone that becomes a fan? What then happens if suddenly you're a famous person and then no one knows you're famous in real life and you're dating them? Suddenly you let them know that they're famous. Is the fucking relationship suddenly abusive? Because that seems to be what you're telling us here right now.
Make it worse, but as we've seen with people who don't have these sorts of addictions, they do the exact same thing too. They overstep the boundaries of people in their community. And they
Oh my
also have the
god,
blanket
wow,
of,
that's so horrible.
well,
oh my god, I'm crying. It's so horrific. I'm actually so sad right now. This is so horrific.
if you say anything, everyone else likes me. So I can just say you're lying, it was a misunderstanding. You've seen the absolutely wild shit people will defend their favourite content creators for. And in the
Oh my god, this is just a giant virtue signal.
leftist space, obviously the biggest one was
Virtue
all that washed
signal,
up horse folder. And
virtue
legit loads of people saying,
signal,
"I was
virtue
anti-LGBT for saying he was a great
virtue
fan of it." But that's what you
signaling.
can do with a
Absolute virtue signaling that we see every single fucking content creator in super far left spaces doing. Virtue signaling. They don't actually care about anything they're talking about. It's just an endless fucking virtue signal, and it's endlessly stroking each other off over and over again.
weaponized audience.
Virtue
They can defend
signal,
you
virtue
no matter
signal.
what. Now let's talk more about the
Oh my
misogyny
God.
in like online leftist spaces. And I guess you could say a lot of what we spoke about already is misogyny
That's terrible.
is capitalizing on these environments.
This video is gonna make me become a misogynist.
Now, I've spoken to my sister about this a lot just because I've seen it firsthand. When she was like dating, when she was a bit younger, I said, men lie. Men lie about their politics. And I was saying to her this more in regard to,
So true. Men are horny gooners.
you're going to get men who say they're more liberal but they're more conservative. And that happens all the time, of course. Men know, especially these days, that women tend to not like conservative guys. But
Does that mean that, like, if they don't slightly align with their beliefs, they're suddenly conservative or something? Like, don't get me wrong. I think becoming, like, listen, if you get canceled and you become a right-wing grifter, like, that's very cringe, and, like, get your shit together, all right? Just because, what, you got your feelings hurt, now suddenly you're gonna become a right-wing grifter? Get your shit together, all right? That's pathetic. That's very weak shit. Like, get your shit together. Like, be true to your own fucking values. But it's like, I also agree that, like, super far left spaces, like, if people slightly disagree with you, what, is that suddenly, like, are they suddenly, like, conservative by your own label?
not that I discussed this with her, but I think it is something we should talk about as well, that a lot of leftist men believe in things in theory. So they're not pretending to be leftist, a lot of them. Like, they are actually leftist in theory.
I think you're pretending to be fucking leftist, or you're pretending to actually care about a lot of this, because this entire video has just been fucking you just virtue signaling about how horrific this guy is, even though we barely have any fucking evidence of it whatsoever.
They believe in these things in theory. They might constantly talk about patriarchy.
Put the fucking fries in the bag, bro. Your fucking brother could do a better job of making a video than you can. And listen, I have my criticisms of Kavos, but Kavos actually, it is insane to me, the difference between the content his brother makes and the content that Kavos makes. It's actually fucking mind-blowing. You would never think that these two were siblings whatsoever. I used to watch Kavos a lot back in the day. Kavos used to rip into people very much, like, in his commentary. He would rip into people. I don't know if he still does. I haven't watched him in forever. But, like, he would rip into people. He would actually show evidence. He would actually show legitimate evidence. Did he get a little bit overly preachy? And did he, like, have times where he was a little bit too virtue signaling? Maybe. A little bit. But it is not nearly as bad as this guy. This guy is, like, completely fucking, like, leftist cucked-brained.
They might talk about all of these like gender dynamics, gender norms, like liberating women. In theory, they believe in that. And I think as men, in terms of passive misogyny, yes, we can understand the systems like, yeah, patriarchy, capitalism, all this stuff that makes us
Great. How does this tie into this one guy? This, like, lol, whatever, the fucking guy who got exposed.
certain way. We can understand that and analyze it. It's a lot harder to practice it when you grow up as a straight man and a straight white man in the UK or America, where the world is designed for you, so you don't actually even have to challenge your own prejudices. And I spoke about
Oh my god. Listen, I mean, like, technically he's not wrong. Yes, he's not wrong that, like, a lot of white people don't have to challenge any prejudice because there are a lot of privileges involved with being white. Yes, like, he's not wrong there. Like, white people typically don't have to go through as much struggle as people who are, like, in minority groups. Yes, I agree with that. But, like, I don't think you care as much as you're pretending here. It's just, you're just saying this to, like, look good in front of your audience.
this very openly in my video about online misogyny, and I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Okay, I have to 2x speed this. This is fucking miserable. This is actually miserable. I have to 2x speed this.
I'm trying to depict myself as the like uber male feminist because I'm not trying to do that, and a lot of people
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Talk about these subjects is the thing with misogyny for men like us is you don't even realize it, and sometimes you feel yourself thinking something or reacting a certain way, and you have to take the time.
Oh, great. Are you gonna become like iDubbbz and like find empathy or something?
Why did I react that way? So here's a recent example for you. you guys know I love football, right? I'm pretty good at football. And I was watching...
I'm pretty good at football, guys. Yeah, this guy has some pretty serious allegations against him. Yeah. But also, we're going to talk about football for a bit. I'm pretty good at football, guys. Yeah, I'm very good at football.
Euros. And obviously, massive credit to the English women winning. It's actually good to see England win for once. And I was watching the penalty shootout, right?
It's good to see women win for once. Women, don't hate me, please. Women, don't hate me. Oh my god, please don't hate me.
And a lot of the penalties were terrible. Like, they were just bad penalties.
This is what happens when you're audience captured, by the way, is you end up having dumb fucking idiots who endlessly virtue signal and that end up looking like this. But this guy probably has some skeletons in his closet himself. I'm willing to bet. He's definitely got some skeletons in his closet.
And, like, they were kicking it kind of, like, mid-level to the keepers, like, left or right, easy saves. The last penalty taker, Chloe Kelly, just absolutely smashed it in. Great penalty. But I was thinking, when I was watching that, I was thinking, I could take a better penalty than that. Like, of course I could. I'd take a better penalty. And then it's just like that impulsive reaction of, like, well, if I was watching the English men do that, would I have that reaction? Would I be like, I can take a better penalty? If I was a woman, I would be in the England team. Like, that sort of ridiculous mindset. And then you step back and you think, that's so stupid that I think that. It's like those people who think they can, like, win a point against Serena Williams or some shit. It's not as bad as that, but it's kind of like, of course, if I was a woman, I would not be in the England team because I'm not that good. And also, I've not got the insane mental toughness that these women have to even play under pressure and stuff. I'm not even...
What?
factoring into, like, a penalty shootout in a Euros final. Like, that's
What do you even...
why the penalties are
I'm
probably
so
bad.
lost.
Because the pressure is absolutely insane. So it's just like that sort of reaction. And I say that to say... That's
Maybe I just don't live in the fucking UK, so I don't understand what he's saying about, like, football or whatever, which is soccer over there, but still.
Massive misogyny, because I grew up in a country that devalues women's football so much, and that's always in the conversation. And sadly, as someone who exists...
I don't live in the UK, so I can't really speak to that, but I don't even care.
...in a football community in England and plays a lot of football, it's really not uncommon to hear people talk badly about women's football. And even that I know, and I've made the argument that the reason the women's game in England isn't as, like, good technically as the men's game is because they don't have the funding that the men have, and they don't have the funding to create this insanely competitive environment to give you similar results to the men. Like, there's nothing about being a woman inherently that makes you worse at football. But again, that's the passive misogyny of my like instinctive reaction to this stuff. And
This guy is like so like, what is this video, dude? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we actually doing with our lives? If I ever ended up... Listen, I've been audience captured before, and I feel like I've overcorrected on a lot of past mistakes I've made when I was audience captured. I feel like, oh god, what I did was so horrible there. I need to correct and do better. Like, yeah, it's fine. Like, listen, being too edgy sucks as well, and, like, obviously, like, it's good to be cognizant of maybe, like, the language and maybe, like, your mindset towards things, but you don't want to become like this guy who just endlessly overcorrects over things that don't matter and that most people probably don't care about as much as you are pretending to. Like, yeah, okay, like, listen, you're thinking about, like, how, oh my god, I could have done better than, like, this woman who was playing better in, like, football or whatever, or, like, whatever your point was, right? I don't think that point matters as much as you think it does. I really actually don't think it's that deep, truthfully. Most people are probably, most normal people in the real world are not going to get at you for that. Now, obviously, there are some no-brainers. Don't be fucking racist. Don't be misogynistic. Don't be, like, any of these things, right? Don't be fucking, like, prejudiced or whatever, right? Of course, yeah. Like, those are some no-brainers, but it's like, you're endlessly overcorrecting over and over again, because, and you're just, like, letting your audience know, it's just one giant virtue signal. This whole video is just one giant virtue signal.
why you just have to keep thinking about it in your brain. And it's really hard to unpack that shit when you live in a society that doesn't challenge it. You exist in like very masculine communities. Like, I've existed in the football community. I've played football my whole life, been in these environments where there is elements of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and all this stuff. And then who are the people really standing up to saying these things that even make men like, have a second thought about these things? Of course we don't. Like, we live
Fucking bread tube cuck-brained here. Holy fuck.
a very socially conservative country in many ways when it comes to these things. So sometimes it's very hard to even realise your bias. And then, like myself and lots of leftist men, in theory, you're great. And you might even practice that to a large extent in the world. And I would say that's for most leftist men. You probably do that. But then that's that passive misogyny at the back of your mind where you'll let misogyny go, you'll let people say misogynistic things in front of you. You won't really practice what you preach. And in some...
So, again, how does this have to do with the allegations at the beginning? You know, I like, literally, like, you're just, like, going off on a tangent about how you're not a bad guy, and how you're, like, trying to be cognizant of your own behavior, and how you're, like, pretending to not be a bad guy. How did the allegation, what do the allegations have to do with any of this?
ways that's a result because you're a product of your own society. And like myself, you might exist in certain groups that are just completely male-dominated, so you don't even hear the counter-arguments. And I'm saying for most leftist...
This video is fucking terrible. This video is actually like a dog shit. This is a terrible fucking video. This is actually like a dog shit, worthless fucking video. If I ever make videos like this guy, if I ever end up with videos like just endlessly fucking virtue signaling my ass off just over and over and over again and overcorrecting to this extreme degree and then like getting people canceled over shit they shouldn't get canceled for, if I ever do dumb shit like this, which I did in my Twitch spaces, but if I ever did it again, if I ever fell back to this one more time in my life, fucking take a shotgun and fucking blast my head off, please. You'd be doing the world a favor if I ever ended up like this.
white men like myself. That's like the baseline you grow up with, and then you have to actually challenge yourself. And how many leftist men will admit they've had misogynistic thoughts, like recently? How many leftist men will talk about their own misogyny and how it's like a constant process of like questioning your own beliefs and interrogating your own beliefs? How many leftist men will do that? I wouldn't say many would do that, and I find a lot of leftist men who wouldn't ever say anything bad about themselves.
I'm not that bad, guys. I'm really not that bad.
They're perfect on anti-racism. They're perfect on anti-misogyny. They're perfect on trans rights. They're perfect on Palestine. They would never say a bad thing about themselves. This is all just posturing for social media, and especially with left-wing male creators. Something you have
Yeah, and you're not posturing for social media with this very video. Yeah, makes sense, buddy. Makes sense, dude.
to remember, of course. There's an incentive to not talk bad about yourself. There's an incentive to not tell people you did X or Y. There's no incentive to say you haven't been perfect about something.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
So for a lot of these creators, they're never going to admit it in the first place, and they're never going to have that open discussion. And if we don't have that open discussion as straight, like often white leftist men, then we're never going to get any better. Like, are we all just going to pretend that none of us are influenced by a misogynistic society, and we're all just perfect? And when something comes out about someone like Loloverruled, we just pretend, oh yeah, that's just the one bad one. He's gone now, the one bad one. There's no misogyny that exists in this community at all. Of course there is, and there's different levels of it. Like I would say, most men.
I actually fucking hope that the Combine race takes us over from Half-Life 2. If any of you guys have played Half-Life 2, I actually hope that the Combine race invades Earth. I hope they invade Earth. I hope they enslave humanity. I hope they turn humanity into the fucking stalkers into the Citadel so that none of us can do dumb shit like this anymore. So that none of us can actually, like, end up, like, just endlessly fucking thinking that we're making society a better place by just endlessly fucking virtue signaling over and over again and stroking our own fucking egos and then, like, thinking that we're doing a good thing and pretending like we're doing a good fucking thing, and then you just end up like people like this. Seriously, I think it would be better if the fucking Combine race just invaded Earth at this point. Like, just make it happen. Screw it, dude.
Are probably way more passive with it, but there's loads of active misogyny in online spaces framed as edginess or humour that people just accept or think's funny, and it's just a level of acceptance we allow. And it even comes across in like the content you make and who you target and how much you criticise people. Like recently I had some criticism on my video about BreadTube, my second one, because the main focus of the video was ContraPoints, and PhilosophyTube also included a little bit about Jessie Gender, so that's 3 trans women in a video about Israel and anti-Semitism. And when I'm making that video, of course I'm thinking like, oh yeah, like this is...
It's so funny. Wait. So, I'm sorry. So you're talking about anti-Semitism, but you literally just cited Hassan Parker, who constantly is dog whistling anti-Semitism. Constantly. He's never going to overtly say it. Literally, one of his orbiters, Mike from PA, recently got banned off Twitch because he said that Jewish people were a demonic ethnicity and it wasn't a real ethnicity. It was like outwardly being anti-Semitic on Twitch, one of his orbiters, and you're not going to have any criticisms for that? Really? Really? That's really interesting coming from you. That's really fucking interesting coming from you, Mr. Cavernacle. That's your name. You would never think this guy was like siblings with Cabos ever. You would never even believe it. Like, I was so shocked when I found that out.
My video's thesis, these 3 people said the bad things, better call them out. But I'm not really thinking, oh, it's actually just 3 trans women. It's me as a straight white leftist man calling these people out, and not saying they didn't all deserve the criticism to varying different degrees, but it's a good thing to keep in mind, because then if I go make another video about that, and another video about that, and another video about that, and I keep making videos about the same 3 people, the same 2 people who happen to be trans women in the leftist space, then you have to think about, like, then why are you comfortable to keep milking that? Why are you comfortable to keep making that content? It becomes excessive. I guess for me, the debate in my head would be like, oh, is it excessive or is it not? In my head, it was a one and done initially. Even it was a 2 and done, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I still understand that criticism of, you know, you are this straight white leftist man in this space, and you're going after these 3 liberal leftist trans...
What is this fucking video? I thought this video was about allegations about another man. Like, I thought this video was about allegations from some, like, guy who was apparently a sex pest. And you haven't shown any evidence of that. You've shown nothing that would even indicate him being a sex pest. Like, he maybe was, like, sliding in DMs and he was getting rejected. He got rejected by that one woman in the beginning who overly sensationalized her fucking story and tried to paint herself as a victim and said, oh my god, he's a 34-year-old man hitting on me as a 26-year-old. Oh my god, I'm such a victim. That's so horrible. Even though they're both legal fucking adults and within, like, a perfectly fine age gap because they're both legal adults. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And then you're trying to say, like, he cultivates spaces to, like, abuse his power to abuse women? I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Please, show me something that I can give a fuck about. Show me something where he leverages his power against these women. Show me, like, actual predatory behavior so I can actually help you out here and actually, like, be all ears about it.
Women creators. And you haven't really thought about how that might even look. And while I would describe myself as woke, I have made videos about woke fascism and the dead end of liberal identity politics. I'm not going to not criticize someone because their identity might be marginalized, but I still understand the arguments about this. And it's just like a process. So I do feel there can be an element on the left that can...
If, like, bread tubing was in, like, the shape of a penis, it would be all the way down to your fucking clavicle. I swear. Like, it would go straight through your mouth and down to your fucking clavicle. That's how far you're deep-throating bread tubing right now. You're, like, so, like, bread tube cucked-brained.
Too black and white. Like, if someone has made a genuine mistake and they're very sorry and we accept it, I have no reason like moving past that. And there's been plenty of people in this community that have. I think Hassan has made like plenty of mistakes and he's apologized for a few of them, and you just move on, whatever.
Yeah, I know. He's denied the fucking rapes, like horrific rapes of Israeli women. He constantly is dog whistling anti-Semitism and pretends to care about Palestine. Meanwhile, he downplays Russia invading Ukraine because all Hassan really is just anti-West. It's all about hating the West. It's not about actually caring about Palestine. It's about hating the West. That's all it is. But we're going to keep citing him because he's a bigger content creator than me and he has more influence than me. And that's why I want to endlessly virtue signal. I want to appease people like Hassan and all these other people in these spaces. That's the whole point of this video. It's like actually a horrible dog shit video. This might actually be one of the worst videos I think I've ever watched on this channel thus far. Like so far, I actually think this is probably the worst video I've ever seen on like anything. I thought the Cinder situation was really bad. Like the Cinder video that was made was horrible dog shit as well, and it was a giant nothing burger. But at least in that situation, they actually showed some level of evidence. This just doesn't do anything. This is just endlessly virtue signaling without any fucking evidence, trying to be like, hey guys, I'm not good. I'm not that bad either. It's like, shut the fuck up.
We're expecting anyone to be perfect, but I do think there is a toxic element because of parasociality that just want to forgive people no matter what, especially if you can frame it in a more like, let's say, lefty woke way of you have an addiction, you really need help, this is what you needed, you're going to go away, you might never come back, you're not going to sue anyone, you're too honourable. But at the same time, I think there's a very much a difference between letting people evolve and move past their past mistakes and rehabilitating terrible people to the point that they can come back and not be accountable for what they've done and continue polluting the space with their content and with their just personality in general, where it isn't a safe space for marginalised groups, women, and just anyone, because you have these people who will exploit their platform and will target people and will hide behind these audiences and hide behind their proximity to being content creators, so they won't be held accountable. Now, if I can say a final point about all of this, is that a lot of people do not want to believe the worst when this type of thing happens. Like you saw so many people defending Loloverruled initially, and you saw some of these wild people just like defending him from anything. I would just say to everyone is, content creators, yes, you can appreciate their work. You don't know us, and that goes for everyone. You really don't know us. You don't know what we're like personally.
Dude, shut up. I can literally, just from this one video, I can tell exactly who you are. You are someone who got famous, and then you stopped maturing, and then you wanted to maintain your relevance, and so you made all these videos just completely, endlessly fucking virtue signaling over and over and over again to maintain your platform, and that's what this whole entire video has been, is just endlessly virtue signaling constantly over and over again. You are so like bread tube cuck brained. Like, shut up. I know exactly how you operate just from this one video. You are not slick. You are not as mysterious as you think you are. Shut up.
You don't know how we treat people. You don't know how we treat people in our own lives. You don't even know how we treat people online in like private settings and stuff, right? You know nothing about us. So I would.
You want women to sleep with you, probably. That's why you like pretend to like advocate for all this shit.
And this is a good thing for everyone. And this is why I try and not cultivate this in my own community. I would say, enjoy people's art, enjoy their content, and maybe you think they're a nice guy or whatever, but do not get that invested in their real lives. And I said multiple times, I don't really care about my audience, in that I don't know any of you. You're just a massive hive mob who watch my videos. How I view you watching this video, how I view you, is people who might be receptive to my ideas, and you might like them, and I put it out into the world for people to watch and enjoy, criticize, engage with. I don't want you then to come and talk to me, trying to be my friend, because I don't want to be a friend. I do not want to be friends with anyone just because you like my videos. And I'm not doing that.
I don't want to be your friend either. You sound very fucking miserable to be friends with, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be your friend either.
It's a correct community. I'm not doing this correct friendship.
Don't worry, the feeling is mutual, my friend. It's not really. I said my friend, but I say that very loosely.
I obviously appreciate
and out of instinct, to be fair. That's just like a thing I'll just say out of instinct, like whenever I like make statements like that, but you get what I mean.
Everyone who supports my work. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch this video, support me on Patreon, support me on YouTube memberships, and just support my work generally. And I'm hoping you support my work because you like my work, not you like me.
Okay, cool. We're done with the video. Yeah, this video was dog shit. I'm not watching like this outro shit or whatever. I don't care anymore. Like we're done. We're done with this situation. This situation actually just like looks like a nothing burger. I'm actually not even kidding. I don't know what the outrage is about. People are calling him a sex pest. I haven't seen any evidence that would indicate that he even is a sex pest. Like, if you want to be the least charitable, your best argument is that maybe he has, like, some boundary issues. Maybe. That he just needs to work on. That's it. That's it. This power dynamic argument's so childish. It's so stupid. Anyone who uses the power dynamic argument has a fucking below average IQ. And this whole thing is so childish. It's so stupid. Enough of this bullshit.